on the last episode of Flight Check. Jesse Jones, aka Filay, matched up against pros. Held his own too.
3, 2.
While at the same time learning from guys who play in the NBA.
I think he has around me. I really believe how spiritually I am is definitely the reason why I haven't really gotten hurt.
And me, I'm in the process of recovering from 14 years of tendonitis, aka jumper's knee, so I can play pain-free. Now it's time to head out to Fresno, California to learn from one of the best dunkers in the world. The spirit of competition. You know, honestly, it's just not for everybody. To not care about the person in front of you. To want to completely destroy their confidence. But if you stick around it long enough, you'll start to love it. When you find a person you battle with back and forth, you begin to build a bond.
That big body don't mean nothing.
Throughout all the fouls, the cheating, the buckets, hooping against each other non-stop is how Jess and I became close. Basketball is a really weird way of bringing people together through competition. And I believe that it's the competition that'll help us grow as athletes.
Malibu, lemon, orange, or ultraviolet.
Alright, so we're on our way to Fresno to meet Jonathan Clark, aka Jay Clark the Jumper, one of the best dunkers in the world. We got Dev in the driver's seat, we got Jess, aka Filay, all the way from New Jersey. Dev's been on his road to dunking again. You guys probably recently saw when he actually was able to throw down a little alley-oop to himself, get himself back in shape. So we're going to meet Jay Clark. Just kind of learn some things from him, some tips and tricks, trying to understand what he knows from the dunking perspective and just being an athlete. He's also a science teacher, so he has a lot of knowledge in that field as well. Everybody's about to get bouncy with Jay Clark, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for the bounce.
No pit stops when the whip is gassed up, pushing 100 if traffic moves fast enough. A small push curve around the grapevine. A straight shot headed down to 99. A small place nearby Modesto resides a growing city better known as Fresno. I used to go to school here, and it didn't take me long before I got the heck up out of there. I guess you could say I had a little bit too much fun in Fresno. So if I'm here nowadays, it's only to see family, or I'm here to handle business.
Alright, so we here, Clovis North High School, home of Jay Clark the Jumper. We here, man. Feel me? About to get some tips. Come on. Get it. Oh, it's a beat! Ah!
What was that about?
It was a beat.
Yeah. Cut that into the video.
It was a, look, it's right there. No, it really was a beat though. Well, we about to catch him in action though. We'll see him teaching in class. He's gonna teach us off on the court. And we might work out too, so it might get a little ugly for Dad.
Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
He's about to be a father.
Let's go. I'm good. Oh yeah, Jay.
He got crazy engagement. Excited.
That's crazy. He's literally shaking. Sean always be doing it. Sean always be like, he always does it. Hey, I'm not going to class. He's like,
I gotta get you to sign this one before you go. Yeah.
So before we go over why I'm here to see Jay Clark, I want to explain to you how he became who he is. Because it low-key goes perfectly with being in the lab. You may have seen him breaking the internet with all of his crazy dunks. But let's actually go back before that. Jonathan Clark started off as a globetrotter, traveling around the states putting on the show. And long story short, he got hurt, became a substitute teacher, and fell in love with passing down information to the youth. Once he recovered from his ACL injury, he became a full-time teacher. Then basically combined the two. And that's when the social media took off. What he knew through science was teaching him how to fly through the air, whether that was dunking on one of his students or dunking in a dunk contest. Jay's also a pioneer in my opinion. He was the first person I've ever seen double up between the legs. So there you go, that's why I'm here. Whatever it is he found, I want to know. And as much as I hated science class when I was young, I'm all ears as a student today.
Who wants to be my astronaut? I need an astronaut. I need a brave astronaut. Anthony! Antho's gonna be my astronaut. I need you. Pick your feet up off the ground. You cannot touch anybody in the classroom. Now I'll let you start with one reposition if you need to. I need you to scoot to the other side of the classroom. I need you to scoot to the pyramid of success. How are you gonna do it? You cannot, your feet cannot touch a chair. No, you can't touch the wall. Keep going, that was good, that's good. Hey, pay attention to what he's doing. Pay attention. Just if you get past Austin's chair, I will count that. What did Anthony do to move across the classroom? He was doing this. He scooted. He was using his arms are going back. So his arms are going back, but where was his body going? Forward. Can someone explain to me what we've learned in class that can explain that phenomenon?
Force.
Yes, he applied a force. What do we know about forces?
For every action, there's a reaction.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what did he do to move forward?
He pushed backwards.
He pushed backwards. So what's happening when he pushes back?
An opposite reaction is going forward.
So the opposite. What is the opposite reaction? There's a force applying him forward.
Okay, wait. You know how some coaches say not to take negative steps? Well, science disagrees. How do I know? Because one of my signature moves is taking a step backwards before I go forward. What's funny is most of the time, the argument is that it slows you down. False. And the proof is what the kids are learning today. The opposite reaction of a push going backwards is a force that will apply a person forward. Things are much more understandable when you can relate them to something that you already understand. The gems didn't stop there though. Jay started connecting jumping to Newton's law.
So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So we're talking about forces. So the rocket applies a force to the ground. The ground does what? Levi, you still have the Powerball.
Applies the same force back.
The ground applies a force back to the rocket. Does that make sense? If the rocket is applying a force to the Earth will apply the same force back to the rocket. However, because the Earth is so big, it needs more force to move it. But the rocket, that's enough force to get it going into space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. In theory, if I decrease my mass and increase my force, I should be able to jump higher, right? But I'm sure that'll take some work. Something that I can't wait to start working on when I get back.
The class was cool, man. It was like a throwback, you know, back to being junior high in grade 8. Got to learn about Newton's law, you know, force. I was a scholar back in the day. I have an interview here.
Tell me about the law, bro.
Yeah, Newton's law, opposite forces reacting things. And we chopped it up about that. We gave some presentations about how that affects astronauts, and all that stuff. And everything's about force, you know. You find forces, different objects. Anyways.
So you can see how you did it in school. Right?
Yeah.
Family's flying out next weekend.
Okay.
We're going to tour U of A and ASU.
Okay. Have you ever noticed that like your best dunks or your almost close dunks are after you've played a couple games? Have you ever noticed like you feel the bounciest after a game, and then you always see that caption like, man, I just played 3 games and I still got it type thing? It's because you actually warmed up. Most people don't actually warm up. It's always like a half warm up. So what we're gonna do, let's just start. We're gonna skip up and down 4 times. Just start low, and by the 4th one, you wanna progressively get higher.
You can't dance to the music if you can't even hear the sound. You can't read the message till you open up the book. You can't dance to the music if you can't even hear the sound. You can't read the message till you open up the book.
Yeah, part of why I even hurt myself in the first place, because I never really stretched, and I had tight hips and stiff ankles and bad knees. I bet that you can guess what happens next. You get 13 years of knee pain. My doctor called it chronic tendonitis, and little did I know that I was killing my athleticism. But you live and you learn, right? I swear, it felt like we were warming up for 3 hours compared to what I normally do. But this was the preparation of one of the best dunkers in the world. So I'm pocketing anything and everything he's got for me.
Feeling warm?
Yeah.
All right.
Like, what you want me to do?
I can eat a ball. I can eat a ball.
What are you doing that? Honestly, let's be real. What do you want me doing that? You still getting the shot up.
Give me my respected ball and don't foul me.
I'm not
fouling you.
I don't foul you. I don't foul you.
You can't guard me when you don't foul me. There's no way you can guard me when you don't foul me. It's 6-0.
That's what you want to do. Be cheating, that's why.
It's a back and forth thing that we have that most people just don't understand. And I wouldn't change it for nothing. It's something that makes me love the sport so much, man. Like, we became brothers because of a basketball. And I rock with my bros till the wheels fall off. I just want to see his pro dreams come true. We know that he can compete at a high level. I knew he could for a year now, but I guess we just got to keep knocking on these doors till somebody opens up.
You know, I think the biggest misconception is people just think that he's just an IG influencer, and you know, his popularity with what he has going on Instagram kind of covers up actually his ability to play the game. Man, the kid is skilled. He's got a great IQ for the game, and more than anything, he's just hungry. You know, so when you put all of those things together for guys like that, you know, man, this kid is for sure a G League player at minimum. I've seen a lot of guys in the G League, and he's as good, if not better, than most of the guys that I've seen play in that league. So, time and opportunity, you know, and that's really all he needs is just to get an opportunity to showcase his ability to play competitive basketball at this level.
Been working all summer, you know, been grinding, working on a lot of pro stuff, pull-ups, a lot of floaters and things like that. Been out here with Dev, we've been grinding, man, getting after it, sand dunes, you know, in the lab working on like core, getting my legs strong. So I feel like I can work with these pros. I had a great run the other day up at Memorial with the pros, Bobby, Pooh. You know, Chris Copeland was there, so, you know, it's just about working, staying in the gym. And I feel like I can make it, man. I just need the opportunity. But we're working, though, man. We're not going to stop.
Get that.
Some of us pray every night. We want all that hard work to lead to a happy ending. But a lot of times, we aren't sure what'll happen. But as the writer of this story, this journey is far from over. I'm hyped for you to see where this is going. I think you guys will like how it is.
You ran to my hand. You ran to my hand.
This is stupid at this point. So I can't have room to go up in my own space.
Look at you. Look at you fouling.
I'm gonna take a charge.
Look at him fouling. Look at you fouling. Just pushing out the air. You see that, Cal?
I was about to jump.
You see it? I couldn't lay the ball up. I just threw it up.
Did he make the shot?
He's like 180.
Did he make the shot?
He's like 188. He's kind of weak. Like, did we in the league?
Have I found him like that? Let me know.
Why your arm on my back?
The side of the back.
Why your arm on my back?
You did a trick
Why
shot.
your arm on my back?
You try to do an air one trick?
Why you have my body like this?
That was crazy.
Why you...
How'd I get this?
You bumping to me.
That was wild.
I live.
Unbelievable. You're not gonna give it to me.
I barely even touched him.
You're not gonna give it.
I'm tapping you. I'm tapping him. I'm not even hitting him.
Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. Watch what he's about to do. Look what he's about to do. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.